I saw the title and I read Noah's email, and I was a little hesitant, to be honest.
I was pretty interested of the concept in itself, end time show, a multi-seasonal.
End of the age revelation, to be completely honest, it scares the crap out of me.
When I read the script itself and finally saw the details of what this pilot would be showing, oh wow.
I am so excited after reading the script. It is both a psychological and spiritual tone to it.
By the characters, by the plot, just everything about the script just sucked me in.
It's so unique the way it's approached. Completely different feel, completely different vibe from most shows that we think of, especially in faith-based film.
First and foremost, it gripped me. I wasn't quite sure at first what I was reading, so I said, hold on, let me go back and reread it again, the first couple of paragraphs. And then it dawned on me that this is a mystery I need to solve.
Deep, intelligent. The writer doesn't just hand it to you, you're expected to follow this fast-paced script.
This script is 19 pages of some of the most packed, interesting, incredible storytelling images about a subject matter that we don't like to talk about.
Yes, we're talking about the Antichrist, but it's not the same way that you see in other stories.
It is not like any Antichrist film or series that you've ever seen before.
What I love about this script and why I would really love to see this film get made is it takes the perspective of the Antichrist himself. I've never seen that before.
I mean, when we think of the Antichrist, we just think of some evil dude who's going to try to take over the world. But he's a human, and he doesn't start as the Antichrist. How does he get from point A to point Z?
This was a brand new, fresh take on how this person became the Antichrist, or you know, the mental health condition that could have possibly contributed to that doorway being opened of him becoming the Antichrist.
It's like a total another person when he puts on the glasses, when he takes off the glasses. It just seems like it's going to be a cool character to play with.
Who is he? How does he get here? Is he somebody we already know? Is it somebody that... No, I don't want to give it away.
What is he thinking? What is he feeling? What are his struggles as he tries to figure out what's going on around him?
That whole thought process right there was different. It was fresh. It was sharp.
I think my favorite part of the script was when we meet Talia. Now, Talia is a 12-year-old little girl, and the first time we meet her is in a tent, refugee camp, I believe. Gaudin meets her when he's like trying to hide from the press or whatever, and needs just a break. And she's sitting at a table drawing a picture. From the description of the script, it describes it as a man whose face you can't quite see, or it's like kind of blurred or unfinished, but the thing that you do see, scarred hands. And immediately when I read that, I just freaked out. I was like, oh my gosh, I know what that is. I know who that is.
There's not really that many shows that have this element of not only focusing on the word, focusing on showing God and his light, but in this case, almost kind of like a screw tape perspective of the darkness and seeing how scary just this realistic approach of how the enemy works. It's so subtle. And it's so overlooked at times.
I thank God for the privilege I got to go through the script, to go through behind the scenes. It's gonna be one of the most powerful movies. If you are out there, you have been asking yourself what will happen after the rapture, what will happen when the Antichrist has taken over. That movie is specifically designed for that. It explains about the Antichrist in details.
And I love the way the script is written. It reminds me of that new Marvel series, Moon Knight, where he had the dissociative disorder, and the switch in the characters was almost exactly how it was in the movie. So I identified with that, and I understood, where the script was going with that. And then trying to figure out the other characters that were in there, like, are they good characters? Are they bad characters? And then it also reminded me of that movie with Denzel Washington, Fallen. This demonic spirit was traveling to person to torment Denzel Washington and his character he played as a cop. So I was so fascinated, and it just gripped me.
There's a scene where Gaudin is, it's like he's trying to figure out what happened or who he is. I almost want to say it's like this battle scene. I mean, there's not really like any actual physical fighting. It's like this struggle between good and evil. It's this struggle between Gaudin and I'm just gonna say Satan.
I fell in love with the dialogue on page 19 to where he says,
"You have fire. That's why I picked you. It's stronger than 1 billion shots of heroin. Can you feel it? Can you feel the fire? How could you not want it? Every day, this inside you. Just say yes."
Clearly, the way that it's written is fantastic. 2 thumbs up.
Gaudin is trying to figure out what's going on, what's happening, and because he's very confused. Satan is showing him all these things, and Gaudin becomes weaker, or something happens. The script then says that a guy comes in with longish hair, and he's wearing pretty plain clothing, and he puts a hand on Gaudin's shoulder, and you see the scar on his hand. Again, I read that, I was like, oh my gosh. So those 2 scenes really got me excited.
I felt like my heart was beating fast, intense. I thought it would be hard to translate this complex scene onto the big screen, and I'm curious how they're going to film that and how they're going to make that happen. Major movie magic to make this scene happen. I felt like 12 pages later, my heart was still beating fast.
And by the end of that script, I kept flipping my phone, like, where's the rest of the pages? I wanted more of that story because I am so fascinated about the direction this is going to take, because it's new, it's different, and it really gives you something to think about.
It is definitely keeping you on the edge of your seat, keeps you guessing, waiting for that next scene. It is going to be incredible.
Each version that I have been sent over the course of the last 6 months or so, every time I read it, I get pulled in a little deeper and a little deeper and a little deeper, and I just want to know more. Jenna, girl, keep writing this story. These 19 pages are wonderful, but I want to know what happens on page 20 and 21 and 25 and 86 and 150.
I want to figure out what's going on. Somebody knows what's going on, and I want to know what is happening. It caught my interest.
The dynamics of how the story could grow, not just in the storyline and plots, of course, but also in the characters, in the action and the drama.
From what I've seen about this movie, it's going to be something else. I've been watching The Chosen, and it kind of gives me the same feeling that The Chosen has. When I get that feeling, usually it's the Holy Spirit telling me that something's really good.
I know some of who the potential actors for some of the characters are, but I can't say anything about that. Hopefully we'll see them in this production.
And I am so excited to play a role in this, along with some of the other people I have just found out are in this film. Oh my goodness. So exciting.
We're potentially going to be having some people from The Chosen working on this project. So if you like what The Chosen does, and you like the people who work on The Chosen, what better way to keep supporting Chosen people than to support this project? That's all I'm going to say about that.
Hi, I'm Justin Overlander, and I have signed on as a producer for the short film project Anti. Jenna Sue and Noah Bennett, sister and brother team, are, I believe, some of the future leaders in the faith-based film world, and are passionate and talented and hungry. And most importantly, they love God. And I want to encourage young filmmakers because they are the future. And the more of them we can have, the more we can mentor these young up-and-coming filmmakers, the more high-quality content we're going to have for years and years to come.
And I got to know Jenna on some sets the last couple of years and just fell in love with her.
Let me talk about this mysterious Noah figure for a second. Oh, I don't know, like, dude's like a kid, but he is like involved to be where you're at and have the connections that you already have. You're like in a smart place. You're like a smart kid.
So I just want to thank God for Noah and Jenna Sue Bennett, whom God is using in this season. I believe that this project, it's a powerful project. That movie goes in details.
I think Jenna's approach is fascinating, and I'm looking forward to seeing it on film. It's genre bending. It's kind of got a little fantasy, sci-fi, psycho thriller vibe to it.
And I love sci-fi. So this was a good way to combine sci-fi along with faith. And I think it is absolutely fascinating.
I don't know that that Anti is necessarily sci-fi. It is technically futuristic, but it has this very like sci-fi jarring sort of feel to it and makes you look at things and question things.
I love it. Like, this kid part of me, this is like, oh, that's legit, that's cool. One concern that I do have on a practical level is, it does seem like a high budget film.
We're going to be having a fundraising campaign for this project. Please go support it if you believe in and love this project just as much as I do.
It seems to be somewhat of a high budget, but here's the thing. Angel Studios has done an amazing thing to where basically all possibilities are now open. And Noah Bennett is no exception to that.
I love the website, the merch. I want the hat, I want the hoodie, I want the t-shirt. And I just want to see where this can go.
I didn't have great support when I was younger. And so I'm thrilled to be able to support Jenna Sue and Noah. And I truly believe that having the right support can make all the difference in the world. But my goodness, they are doing such a tremendous job already in pre-production, and I can't wait to see what they do with Anti and what they do with their careers beyond.
I feel like this could have the potential to make a really great series. Maybe help people who are scared or standoffish about the whole end times revelation stuff as I was. Maybe look at it a different light and want to know more and want to read Revelation.
Everything's always very cut and dry. Maybe it really isn't. Maybe there's more to the story, and maybe this film will reveal that.
This could go much further than just being a short thesis film. I just know it.
I'm really excited to see how this pilot comes to life visually, and especially just how the story unfolds with Anti. So antiseries.com, follow them on Instagram and keep up to date.
Please support this project. Go follow it on social media, on Instagram. Follow Against the Tide Media on Instagram and Facebook, because we'll be updating about this project on those platforms as well.
So please stay tuned. Keep your eyes out on our updates as they are released, so that you can see this short film when it comes out. It is truly incredible. You will not be disappointed.
The unexpected is happening right to the end of the script when it says, cut to black. Incredible script. I'm looking forward to seeing it on a screen a few times because of how complex and how deep this story is.
I'm super excited about this, and I can't wait to see what God is going to do through this.
I can't wait to watch that movie. Thank you, Jenna. Thank you, Noah. I believe that you allowed God to use you in a powerful way. I thank God for you allowing yourself to be used. Everyone, I'm telling you, it's gonna be a powerful project we all want to watch.
Anti? Wow.
It gave me all the feels.
Not your normal script.
I wish you luck. You have my support.
This is going to be pretty cool. I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Awesome, Jenna. Awesome.
A whole nother level of sci-fi.
I say, let's go for it. Just do it! Just do it!
Do it!
The audience for this is going to be huge. Thank you again, and I hope that you will take the time to watch.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the...
Been a while, huh? Oh.
Hello.
There we are. Wow, it's like we
Technical
haven't talked in
difficulties.
forever, huh?
Yeah, but anyway, so yeah, we are back soon, a lot sooner than I thought we would, but we had another plan for a live stream come up kind of quick, kind of unexpectedly. Some really exciting things to share today, and I'm gonna try not to have this live stream as long as the last one, because 3 hours is kind of a long time, and I understand you people have schedules. Shout out to people joining. Let us know where you're joining from. Hello to Rhonda Hawkins joining from Royal Oak, Michigan. Let's see. Nancy Hendricks Nielsen watching from New Jersey. Yeah, got 20 people so far. Not bad. Anyway, so let's just get right into it.
Here we go.
There is a cast member who is playing a really vital and important role in this pilot. Alexandria Rose Bell, who plays Talia. This is a character who you're going to be seeing a lot more of in the future of the show. I'm not going to give away like just how much of a vital role she plays. But before we bring her on, we are going to be showing a little interview that we got with her from set. Let me just go ahead and play that right now.
Roll it.
All right.
Are you though?
Hi, I'm Alexandria Rose Bell, and I'm playing the role of Talia in an anti. So the role of Talia, she's a really special girl. She's a really fun character to play. We'll have to start with this painting, full picture drawing, and it's amazing. And it was drawn by a artist in Sweden, Maria Nimakwa. In the story, Talia draws it, and it's of Jesus putting a hand on Gaudin, and she shows Gaudin it, and I think she's just trying, her character, she's really trying to help Gaudin go to the good side and stuff. And I feel like she teaches Gaudin a lesson in the show, and she wants to make sure he's not making bad choices. I just think she's a really powerful role. She's trying to tell Gaudin, listen to me, you're not listening, just please. Guess I'll see you tomorrow night. We'll get there eventually. And I feel like that line's super special. It kind of applies to everything in life, because no matter how hard you try at something, you're not gonna get it the first try, you're not gonna get it perfectly, but you'll get it eventually. And she's a really strong character too, and I just think that's a beautiful line from the story.
Great job.
You did fantastic.
I'm so glad working with you. Lexi, thank you for being such a trooper.
I could just feel that crap. Oh.
Lexi! Mother. Leah. Yay, good job.
All right, and here she is, Alexandria Lexi Rose Bell. Thank you so much for joining. Oh.
Excited to be here. I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, it's been a while. We haven't talked since set. It's a lot's been happening.
Yeah.
Been catching up a lot with the cast lately. It's been great. But anyway, let's get right into this. So let me pull up the first question. So first of all, could you share with us a little of the story of how you were cast? I know it happened kind of last minute, but our casting director, Jack Kelly, was able to work his magic again and got it for us. I think it was cast you for us. I think it was it like 2 days before?
It was a little longer, but I know it was late at night. It was like after I got home from ballet, and my mom told me that she got a call from Jack Kelly, and he wanted me to audition for Anti. So we did the audition, I think, the next day, and I flew out to where it's filming, and like a couple days after. So it was very last minute.
Yeah, I it was, yeah, I was like really feeling like I didn't know what we were gonna do for the casting of that role of this character Talia, and it was someone that just not anyone could play. It was very, there's a lot of depth to that role, and but you ended up being just absolutely perfectly cast for Talia, and yeah, it was very much beyond all of us how that happened. So anyway, Colby. Colby, you're on mute.
So, in case of you don't know on the live, there's this magical little button called the power switch that apparently, like, when that light is off, apparently the mic doesn't work. I'm not really sure how the two kind of connect together, but it's kind of interesting how that works. But yes, so going along with the character of Talia and how much of an impact she has not only in the pilot, but also the story as a whole. Could you tell us more about the drawing that she works on that we see in the film?
Yes, so the drawing is of Jesus putting a hand on Gaudin, and for me, I feel like that hand, like putting the hand that's on Gaudin, is almost like him directing him toward good and light and almost guiding him. So that's what I like think of the drawing.
Yeah, it's something that yeah, in that flashback scene where Gaudin is working at Safe Haven, and then he meets Talia like in the tent, and she's working on that drawing. I think that's one of the big things that you know, he doesn't recognize himself in the picture. He doesn't recognize Jesus in the picture, but it's one of the things that just plants this little seed, I think, that dang, it is really hard to explain that scene without giving away a lot in the story as to why she's doing it, but it's something that, yeah, I'm looking forward to everyone getting to see that scene, but it turned out absolutely beautiful the way it happened.
One of my favorites.
Oh, we have a comment here from Margie. She says, "Is anyone else's YouTube feed fuzzy?" I hope not. Let us know in the comments if you're experiencing any fuzz in the background or bad audio. So, anyway, Lexi, what was it like being on set for Anti? Are there any fun or memorable moments that stood out to you?
It was so fun. I loved getting to meet everyone and like just bond with everyone. A funny thing that happened on set was I love telling riddles when I'm on set to people and telling jokes. So I always told them to Jarrett, who plays Gaudin, and he knew all of them because he has kids at home. So it was kind of sad, but that was something funny.
What was it like working with Jenna as a director?
It was so fun. She's so sweet, and I feel like it's just a good connection, and I really enjoyed meeting everyone.
Yeah, it was very much a family environment that yeah, I cannot wait for season 1 until we can all just get the group back together and yeah,
It's gonna be fun.
just get back at this, have fun.
Yeah. So, with the character, is there, what's your favorite part about playing the role? Is there any of yourself that you might see whenever you're playing the role of Talia and how you relate to her?
I feel like I can relate to her in many ways. Talia is trying to help Gaudin and is very loving, and I feel like she has this, I don't know how to explain it, but she has this really good to her, and she's really helpful to Gaudin, which I feel like I can be helpful too. So that's how I can relate to her. And my favorite part about playing her is because she's just super. She's really trying to bring light and good into the world.
That's what I love so much, and you especially see it in the film. It's like the counterbalance, where it's like whenever Gaudin is starting to go towards like a dark tunnel per se, you're there to kind of hold us back, make sure, hey, just so you know, think through what you might do, so.
Yeah. Absolutely. Oh, we got a comment from Lori Cleast, who says, "You are angelic like."
Thank you.
But yeah, anyway, one of the things that I love about this character too is yes, she's trying to help Gaudin and bring light to him, help him to see the truth. And I think because of everything that she's gone through in her life before, and we'll explore that more in the series, she kind of missed out on her childhood. And just, it was very, I almost want to say she can get kind of frustrated or try to resist being childlike because she wants to take care of the rest of the world first. She wants to take care of Gaudin first. And yeah, it's just something very interesting that we're definitely going to explore more on with the series. And yeah, just very, very interesting character. So when did you first start acting, and when did you realize that it was your passion? Any other hobbies or fun activities that you enjoy on the side?
So I started acting when I was around 7, and I did it for fun for a few years, but I started realizing that I want to do this for a career a little over a year ago, and I love it so much. And some other hobbies I do, I can do gymnastics, I like to sing and dance, and I do robotics club at my school.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's great.
So we are about to introduce a Q&A for you guys that are watching. If you guys have some questions for Talia, who's playing Talia playing Lexi plays Talia. Woo-wee! Drop it in the comments below. Have those prepared up. And while we're waiting on those, the next question I have for you is obviously like we've said, your character has a huge impact not only on this film, but the story as a whole, and will continue to as the series goes on. And of course, Noah and Jenna are the only ones that really know how the story as a whole will continue on forward. But are there some personal hopes, things you might be looking forward to with the series, wondering where Talia might be going?
It's hard to describe this without giving too much away, but where I hope for her to get Gaudin in the light, and also for her to be where she wants to and be able to live life the way she wants it. And yeah, that's where I hope he is able to be in the next episodes or seasons or in the future.
Yeah, he's definitely going to need that light.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
we hope you stay around. Otherwise, yeesh.
Yeah, it's
Won't be good for Gaudin, that's for sure.
it's gonna be pretty emotional stuff. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you'll like it.
Absolutely.
Let's see. Oh, was the last question? Oh, Colby, that was your question. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You've got a question right after this. We can go and answer this while we're waiting up on Q&A.
Oh yeah, Q&A. All right, so Q&A for Lexi, aka Talia, is starting now. So if you have any questions for her about anything in general or about the film, go ahead and put them in the chat. Actually, we have one right here.
Here we go.
From Sarah Va. When did you first become interested in acting, and how long have you been acting? I guess you've kind of already answered that question.
When I mean, the interested part, I feel like I necessarily didn't answer, but I started becoming interested in acting is because when I was little, I feel like I've always seen shows, and my sister did acting too, and she's older than me, so I always went to her shows that she was in. So that's when I kind of started having a love for it.
Yeah, it's something that I think anything in this industry, it's something, and really with most jobs, you have to that are art, you have to really, really have a soul passion for that, and just like
Absolutely.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you are absolutely great at it. So
Thank you.
You may have already answered this one earlier too with my question, but from Tara Roddicker Smith, who's actually one of our hosts at Against the Tide Media. Oh, with Talking Back with Tara. How many days were you on set, and is there a time on set that was memorable that you want to share with us?
I think I was on set for 2 or 3 days. I think it was 2.
Yeah, it was 2.
And a time that was memorable was, well, when I was getting like my hair done and my makeup done, I was just like talking to the hair and makeup artist, and that was really fun to do, and getting to just hang out with the cast members was also memorable.
Yeah, it was really, really great set. I just so miss getting to talk with everyone and hang out. It was it was a special community for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, from Roper Kirby, where did you get that fantastic suit jacket?
It is actually not a suit jacket. It's a jean jacket with a hood. And yeah, it might look like it from that, but it's a jean jacket. And I got it from Target.
All right. You heard her, folks. If you want, what was it called again?
A jean jacket or Target?
Jean jacket.
Okay.
If you want a jean jacket like Lexi, go to Target. This is a plug for Target.
Totally not a sponsorship.
Yeah.
I love Target.
Let's see. All right. I guess this is for me, but it's from Suzanne Jennings, who we had on the last live stream, who is playing the character of Suzanne. She says, Noah, acting is something in the soul, and you can't not do it. That's true. Like, acting is just being human. It's just imagining yourself under these circumstances with
Yeah, you have to change your mind. You have to change your mindset into that character's.
Exactly.
Absolutely, yeah.
But
Yeah.
everyone can do that. It's not.
Some people have the talent.
Yes, it is very much a gift and a passion.
It's a gift. Yeah.
Yeah.
It takes the right person to pull it off.
Absolutely. Okay. All right, so Lexi, I think that is the last of the fan questions. Let me know if you guys have any more. But you saw a cut of Anti for the first time
Yes.
last night. What would you say people can expect from this pilot, and what would you like to say to the supporters who are watching?
So I don't want to spoil too much, but I feel like you will see a lot of suspense and excitement, which is what I felt, because I just want to know what happens next. So that's like what I would say you can get ready to see.
Yeah, it can be pretty suspenseful. It's
Also hopeful. Like I feel like there's a lot of hope.
yeah, that's the thing that that's Anti's whole goal, just to show the hope of nobody's beyond the point of redemption. And yeah, it's it very much leaves on that hopeful note.
Yeah.
But oh, we have one more fan question for you, again from Sarah Voth. She says, I'm assuming that Lexi is taking acting classes, and if so, what is she working on / studying?
So I do take acting classes. I take acting classes and improv classes. I take both. And the acting classes are in Chicago. And I work on character like development and being able to like get into that headspace and get into the mindset of that character, which is I feel like that's the main thing that you work on in the acting classes I take.
Yeah, definitely. It's it really does prepare you for a lot that's coming up, and I something that I definitely strongly recommend planning to get into acting, or before you prepare for any kind of role. Oh, we have a comment from Megan DeJamo, one of our associate producers, who says, agreed, Lexi, amidst the darkness, there is hope.
Yes.
Alrighty. I think it is now time to bring on and announce our new cast member.
Oh boy.
So some of you may be a little bit confused by this because the film's already been shot, and
it has?
But so how can you bring in a new cast member after the film's been shot? Well, we're gonna get to that right after we introduce this person in 3, 2, 1. Wait a second, is that Rafael Ruggiero from LifeMark
And running the base.
And is he muted?
Hello?
There's a special little
cannot
button.
hear
It's
you
called
guys.
the on button. It worked last time I checked.
Raphael, where we can see your hand gestures and you waving, but we can't hear you. Oh.
Oh!
There you go. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
There you go.
Cool.
So it was Noah's fault.
I was trying to say you guys muted it.
It's
It didn't
Noah's
say it was
fault.
muted on my end.
Got it, yeah.
I was like, I can't do anything. I'm sorry, guys. Oh no.
Hi.
Passive aggressive.
Wait, can you guys hear me?
Yeah. Yes, we can hear all of you.
I
You're
cannot
good.
hear anything that you guys are saying. Here I can.
Uh-oh. Hold on a second.
That's not good.
Let me Hey, can you hear us now?
No, should I try leaving and rejoining?
We can try that. Hold on. Are we good now?
Hi.
Hello.
I hear it.
That is so weird.
Testing 1 2 3.
All right, so we are going to bring Lexi back right on, but
Here,
we're
I'm
having...
gonna log off and come back on and see if it works better.
All right, sounds great.
Oh.
So anyway, Rafael Reguero, you may know him from Lifemark, Running the Base. These past year, he's been getting around in some things. Lexi, can you hear us now?
Hello, Lexi, can you hear
Here,
me?
maybe I can. It's weird. I cannot hear you, but you guys can hear me. Getting a shout.
Let's I don't understand. Huh.
That's weird.
Maybe I need to try turning all of our screens back on. Are we good now?
Hello, hello.
Check.
Do we want to hold up something for her to see that we could write out?
How many fingers am I holding up?
All right, everyone, we are sorry. This is you're getting this live. You're getting this very live.
Yeah.
Welcome to the blooper reel.
Yes, this is. You can edit this for blooper reels in the future.
Yes. This is free, like royalty free, like blooper reel.
Yeah.
Lexi, I'm going to give your mom a call, and maybe we can get this figured out.
I can still not hear you.
All right, let me
text it out, maybe.
Let's see. Colby, you want to keep the flow going?
All right. Here we go. So, Raphael, good to see you.
Hello.
With us. Glad that you are here. So,
Yeah,
let's
man.
roll for the first question. So, we didn't know that after we cast you and Lexi, that apparently you two were already cast in another film previously.
Yeah.
So, tell us more about that project.
Yeah, so that is a project that we shot in Camano Island in Washington, which, by the way, it feels like it's the Garden of Eden. We might have talked about this at one point, but it's just like absolutely beautiful mountains, lush trees. You get fruit growing like right outside the places that you're staying. You have like, I literally had like a couple days straight where cats would literally come and wake me up and like meow outside my house. It was like, this place isn't real. And we shot this faith-based series. It's almost like if Christianity were in Stranger Things, and it deals with real-world spiritual issues and exposing the darkness for what it is, the spiritual darkness for what it is. And we see that the main characters start to figure out what it means to have spiritual gifts and see into the supernatural realm and learn that these are God-given gifts. These are God-given God-given gifts that he's given to each and every one of us, and they don't all look the same, but it's really diving into the complexities and what it means to have gifts to combat evil in a world that is very dark like today.
Yeah. Reminds me of Lexi's character in some ways.
Yeah.
It's
is a lot like
interesting
Lexi's character.
how some like film projects kind of tie in. You see like some elements of like films that you've worked on before that end up becoming your next project in some way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's amazing, man.
Yeah, so,
it's absolutely amazing.
Speaking of, your role in the show Anti, it's a pretty unique one. Tell us more about your character, which is basically called Rapture Dude in the show.
That's me. Yeah. I'm Rapture Dude. Guilty as charged. Basically, I'm I'm kind of an enthusiastic kind of social media influencer who goes crazy about teaching and kind of prophesying future events that are going to be happening concerning the end times.
Hey,
but and he's kind of compelled to share these conspiracy theories. But what's kind of cool is that I feel like the character himself, even though he's broadcasting himself and trying to talk to all these people and convince people of what he thinks is happening, in doing that, I think he's trying to learn about the future himself, because even he himself doesn't know what's happening. So it almost might be a way of him being like, I'm broadcasting myself. This is what I believe. I'm just trying to figure this out as well. And it's not coming from a place of like, you guys need to know that this is fact. This is biblical. It's happening. Everything that's happening, this is the gospel. It's like, this is what it just says. I'm trying to figure it out myself. And so I think the more that he's putting himself out there and he's warning people, he's also learning himself. He's learning more about the world around him, and he's learning about the current events that ultimately are leading towards the end times.
Absolutely. And one thing I was just going to say is so I've got Lexi's mom on the phone, and so Lexi.
Hey,
all right, so hopefully you can hear this. Lexi is going to speak through my phone.
Hi, it's Lexi.
Can you hear that?
Thanks for calling in our show.
All right, so Lexi, you and Raphael actually got to meet on another project before Anti, and I didn't know about that. Could you tell us a little bit about that story?
Yeah, so I remember just getting there and we all got to meet each other, and it was just the story of how I got that, or like the story on set. What do you mean by story? Like story on set?
Oh yeah, like story on how you met Raphael on the previous set.
Okay, yeah. So I booked that pilot, and I just remember it was really sudden, kind of too, as well. Like they told us that I got the part a week before I had to fly out there, or like 2 weeks before, and we flew out there, and I remember just meeting everyone, and it was just so happy and so much fun.
Yeah, and I thought it was really interesting when I believe it was your mom who told me, when I told her that we had Raphael on board with the project, that she was like, "Oh my gosh, Raphael! Like we just worked with him on another set." And I believe like you, Colby, and Raphael were actually on a Zoom meeting or something, watching like a very, very early rough draft of Anti, and then you were like, "Wait, is that Lexi?"
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Colby and I were watching it, and like it slowly starts to pan up, and I'm like, that looks familiar. That person looks familiar. And then I saw the face. I'm like, what? It was so funny.
It's so funny because in the pilot that we were in together, he played my brother. So it's like now it's like different characters, and we're in the same.
Yep. And then in the next show we're gonna shoot, we're gonna be cousins, and then the next one we're gonna be enemies, and then we're gonna just go on and so forth.
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, anyway, Lexi, thank you so much for jumping on here. Really, really sorry about the technical difficulties. We'll see if we can work those out for the next one. But
love you, Lex.
I know you have some auditions that you're going to record, so you go do that. We wish you luck and prayers, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks so much.
Bye, Lex.
Thank you so much. I enjoyed it so much.
Us too. Thank you. Bye. All right, so Raphael.
Hey guys, how's it going?
It's going great. I'm not sure how much you got to talk about the Rapture Dude character. So
yeah, I basically just broke down, who I thought Rapture Dude is, and really what he experiences, and kind of a little bit of his backstory and stuff. So
yeah, it's a really, I'd say you have the most unique role in all of the pilot, because it's just,
I would agree. Yeah.
It's funny because he's just someone that we see on a screen on like Gaudin's phone,
Yeah.
And he brings like such a unique dynamic and a mystery to what's going on. It just ties in so well together with what's happening in the film with Gaudin at that point.
Yep.
So
true, bro.
So yeah. Anyway, what questions did you already answer?
I answered just kind of talking a little bit about who Rapture Dude is and some of his characteristics.
All right.
Basically just it.
Cool.
So no, if
So-
you check the notes, you'll see where we at so far.
All right, nice. Sorry, folks. What unique perspective would you say your character gives the audience? What does Rapture Dude bring that other characters can't? And you're frozen.
Dude got raptured. Thank you.
Raphael,
Oh,
what a
boy.
day it has been.
You're doing great.
And he's back.
Okay.
Hey!
I was like, all right, I'm not in the live anymore. I'm just gonna wait out here. Now you asked me what are some unique characteristics. I would say one of them, I don't know what you heard, but I was saying that he gets to be cozy in his bedroom while the world is ending. What I think is really cool is that he kind of has like an aerial perspective of everything going on. Well, as all these current events are happening around him, and we see that there's tragedy and, you know, the issues with the refugees and stuff like that, and people missing, that he's not involved and on site for these events. And he kind of has this perspective where he's almost like the voice of reason, but he's not there with the people that need to hear it the most. Like, he's only heard through a screen. You know, like if they turn the screens off, there's no getting valid input from the person who kind of has the most insight on what's happening. Like, he has so much good information, but the only way that people can actually get the information, and the only person that's getting it, is Gaudin through the screen. And so I think it's really interesting to see just like how much input, how much wisdom, and the questions that this kid is asking that are so relevant to what's happening are disregarded and not actually looked into. But Gaudin is a little bit interested in what's happening, but he's not fully committed to what this kid is saying.
Yeah, exactly. And at this point, like in the film, Gaudin is just so like he's looking for anything.
Yeah.
And I know, like, he was just told by Suzanne earlier, you know, until you know what voice to listen to, don't trust any.
Yeah.
But Gaudin's just too curious. He wants to figure out what's going on with him. And so he's watching this YouTube video about like why someone believes that he's the Antichrist. Like, the Antichrist, what is that?
Right. Yeah.
And the thing that is interesting with Rapture Dude, he doesn't go like, I'd say he's done a lot of research with the Bible and biblical prophecy and all of that, but not in the way that your typical end times YouTuber would.
Right.
He's treating it like he's breaking down a Marvel movie or something.
Right.
Real life.
Yeah, totally. And he's almost kind of coming at it at more of like a secular approach, and not from a biblical and spiritual approach of like, hey, you know, we're all believers in Christ here. It's like this is just what history is saying. This is what the facts are saying, or the facts to him. And so yeah, it's really interesting to see just kind of that character be broken down. And yeah, just amazing, man.
Yeah, it's like, with his audience, with his subscribers, he's like, let's all try to have fun and make fun of this while we figure out why the world's ending.
Yeah.
He's almost people's comfort YouTuber in these times. But anyway, I wanted to announce that your character and the whole Rapture Dude channel thing, that is actually going to become a lot more significant outside of the show itself.
Wow,
we
good
are
timing.
going to be creating a Rapture Dude YouTube channel with videos basically breaking down everything within the anti-universe, I guess you could say. Things that aren't going to be shown specifically in the show. I guess the best comparison that I could think of to put this is, you know how The Chosen has The Chosen is not good?
Yeah. Yep.
With like the devil and saying don't watch the show. This is the equivalent of that. People can follow along with Rapture Dude, but the videos are all as if it's real life and we're in the 2040s and these things are happening. So
Yep.
For Rapture Dude's YouTube channel, Instagram, and I'm getting ready to show a clip, just a sneak peek.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Of the first video that we'll be releasing.
Boy.
6 reasons why Emmanuel Gaudin is the Antichrist.
Oh boy.
Part of this video is seen in the film, not all of it, but I think you're really gonna enjoy this.
All right, bro.
Let's go. You absolutely killed it. All right.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. It's Rapture Dude once again. Thank you so much for joining me on another episode. So today I'm going to be breaking down the latest theory on everyone's mind and laying out for you 6 reasons why I believe Emmanuel Gaudin, the beloved leader that got us through Rapture Geddon, is the Antichrist. Alright. So this video is sponsored by ChipFit. You want a wearable that's totally invisible? Like inside you, you're kind of invisible? ChipFit is an implantable fitness device that tracks metabolism by taking measurements in the bloodstream. Just make sure you put ChipFit in your left hand because it's not the MOB if it's in the left hand, right? More on ChipFit later. So, you guys know, I've been covering the Rapture before the Rapture was cool. Hello? Anybody remember this? You can't cover the Rapture without speculating about the next big bad event. Naturally, there's gonna be a few that we get wrong. So, let's check this out. Oh, I miss Damien era. But after the mandate for Project Volition, I'm feeling pretty confident that Manny's our man. Let's dive right into why I'm really sure about it this time. Alright, number 1. Emmanuel Gaudin, born June 6, 2006. Not that that fact has any significance whatsoever. Moving on to number 2. You guys know that I go absolutely crazy with name meanings, but this, I mean, yeah, we're gonna have to do some research with this one. Did you hear that? Could be. The Book of Isaiah, which can be found in both the Christian Bible and the Jewish Tanakh. Tanakh. It prophesies that a virgin shall conceive and give birth to a son that will be called Emmanuel, meaning God with us. Now, Christians believe this prophecy was fulfilled through a man named Jesus, who became the religious figurehead of their own spin-off religion. And go with me here. Hang tight. Looking at the facts that I found about Emmanuel Gaudin, I believe the Antichrist's life directly mimics Jesus Christ. Who's gonna argue with me? So this one's pretty easy. I remember, I looked it up. Basically it just means like strong-willed warrior or protector or something like that, so not too shabby. This one, on the other hand, yeah, I had to Google it because I have no idea what that could possibly mean. Turns out It is a French surname, which checks out because Gaudin's mom was, say it with me kids, French. Good job. Okay, let's see here. Good protector, one of power, God, deity, divine being, son of God. Huh. Most of the time, we don't have access to the details of someone's conception because, hello, that would just be awkward. But Gaudin is the exception. All right. Number 3, y'all, I want you to check this out. We have details both from Gaudin's mom's archive and from his book Saving Nations to tell us all about it. Okay? It is actually very, very scientific. No, I am not done with 3 yet. So before her disappearance, Gaudin's mother identified as asexual, and she conceived him via in vitro fertilization and the use of donated sperm, aka he was born of a virgin. Now this can be interpreted as a clue that Gaudin's life is supposed to mimic the Christ figure of Christianity, who was also supposedly born of a virgin. So what does that tell you? Says a lot to me.
I absolutely love that video.
Okay, I need to know really quick. Who edited that?
Who
I
edited
did.
that?
Who? I need to know this.
I did.
Oh,
what?
God, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, that's
Crushed
the
it,
first time
dude.
I've seen this.
Yeah.
Dude, let's just scrap everything and start a YouTube channel. You're our editor, bro. What the heck?
I mean, we should call it Rapture Dude.
Well,
We should call it Rapture Dude, yeah.
Yeah.
You gave
That's
us material.
amazing. Holy
Yeah.
Anna.
Oh my gosh.
Well, thank you. It's
So
there was a
funny.
lot of world building that went into that video. And if you're
I can't get over the fact that you cut my face out and put it on a t-shirt.
That's golden.
It's amazing.
Oh my God.
Remember, that is a small part of the video. There's a lot more to come. And that's also
Yeah, he's got an entire whiteboard of things.
Yeah. I do want to clean it up a little bit, but in case you're wondering where those pictures came from, they were AI generated, so we wouldn't run into
Beautiful.
But,
yeah, futuristic,
Love it. Beautiful.
Also, this is a good opportunity for ChipFit to become an actual thing.
Sponsored.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe there was a comment earlier that said something about it. Sponsored by ChipFit.
Nice.
Target.
It might be at Target. Who knows?
Yeah, soon.
But going back to what we were saying, it was very much not the typical YouTuber style for like end times YouTubers. Very much, I'd say millennial, Gen Z, average YouTuber kind of, just this very fast pace and hype, I guess you could call it.
Sure.
So I guess with the Rapture Dude, with it being in universe, covering everything that's happening in the world of Anti, I think there are a lot of people who will really enjoy that kind of thing, and I'd say it'd be good for marketing as well.
Totally, 100%.
But I don't want to say just for like Gen Z and millennial, because anyone can enjoy that kind of thing. It just depends on who you are, but I'd say it'd be primarily that audience.
Also, wouldn't Gen
But
Z
yeah, what was your
millennials be like
reaction
in
to?
their 40s?
What was that?
Wouldn't Gen Z millennial be like in their 40s, like 20 years from now?
Yeah.
Wow.
So what would you call the other generation? Like generation uh-oh? I don't know.
I'll have to look it up. But anyway, what was your reaction to Colby, Raphael? I'm interested for both of you. What was your first reaction to seeing that?
Oh, as of a few minutes ago?
Yeah.
Raphael, you go first.
We're talking about the
What we just saw.
What we just saw, yeah. I knew you guys had something good when you were reaching out and talking to me about like what you were doing and what you were up to and like what you had scripted. And Colby, obviously you and I, we'd seen like a rough early on, and I was like, dang, they got something here. What I just saw was a masterpiece. It was just so good. I mean, just like everything about it, the quick transitions, it's so smooth. It's quick. It keeps you engaged. Bro, it's beautiful. It's amazing.
Well, I appreciate it. Thanks.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what I love
that's awesome.
about it, not only it's like I said, it's art.
It
That
is.
video
It truly
art,
is.
But also, what I love so much is that it really expands kind of the world beyond just from Gaudin's perspective that we see in the show.
Yes, that's so true.
Because of course this show is called Anti. It's through like the lens, whether glasses on or off, of Emmanuel Gaudin.
Yeah, that's so true.
And then there are people around him that we see here and there.
That's
but
true.
for context of what is going on around this world, I love the idea that we have like this YouTuber that's kind of the outside perspective, where it's like that's kind of like a further insight into what's happening in this certain like era or season of life, pretty much. And it kind of makes me think of like docudramas in some ways.
Yeah. I'm kind of waiting for the spin-off series, the Better Call Saul for Anti. The spin-off.
Yeah.
Better FaceTime Rapture, dude.
Yeah. Absolutely. Like an Anti spin-off, I could I'm not gonna say anything.
No.
No, I need to shut my mouth.
Don't give too much away.
Okay. Anyway, so Colby, leave your questions next.
Yes. So, with your character, when you first got the role, what was your initial reaction? Not only to the character, but also to the initial story. It's even like when we first saw it and I presented you kind of like the early rough edit, and also when you were getting into kind of the role, was there any sort of like mental preparation or any sort of thing you did to try tap into the character of Rapture Dude?
Yeah, well, I'll say my initial reaction was like, because Jack Kelly, who's a good friend of mine, dear friend of mine, who we did Even the Darkness together with Lex.
Yeah.
He had reached out to me when we were actually shooting Even the Darkness and was like, hey, there's this project I think you'd be really good for. I'm going to send your information over to them. And what I was thinking was like, oh, okay, I'll have to send a self-tape and go through this process and stuff like that. And then when I heard it was just like, yeah, dude, like whenever you're ready, they want to start shooting. I'm like, oh, wait, what? Dang, that's amazing. I don't have to shoot like a self-tape or anything. That's so cool. And then when I heard what it was about, I was like, oh, this is really fascinating. Because it was like, I had gotten kind of a sneak peek on kind of what it was about. But it wasn't until Colby actually showed me the rough that I was like, dang, this is going somewhere. This is deep. And I was just kind of like, dude, a series about the end times. I mean, you have like your Left Behind and all the kind of like apocalyptic kind of end timesy shows, but this is like really getting to the nitty gritty of like what it means to be compromised, and it shows like the dangers of giving your soul over to earthly desires and earthly pleasures, and what it means really to be controlled by the demonic. And you guys take it to such a depth that most of these shows that are showing like the Antichrist, they're showing him as this big bad bully, and automatically people are like, oh no, he's bad, he's the villain. But in this, it's like you're on the edge of your seat because you don't know. We don't know what is going to happen. We don't know which path Gaudin's going to take. And so, again, I don't want to spoil too much, but it was really fascinating to hear in the beginning that like, oh yeah, this sounds cool, to afterwards seeing it and being like, I get the vision and I see what they were going for.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that just means so much to me and to Jenna. Like after you saw the film, like the put together version for the first time last night, it was, I just saw some of the things that you were saying in your note, and like, I actually was getting kind of emotional about it today, privately, and because it really sticks with you, just the thought that, because this is a project that you know, I know is something a lot bigger than any of us, and
Yep.
to be the one to guide the vision and to be given this vision to make it, it's just,
Yeah.
you know, you think, how did we get here? Like, why am I doing this? And you just are so thankful, and you feel so blessed, and just want to serve this vision and help people to find truth, to be led towards truth. And
and dude, what's so anointed about this, and by the way, if I haven't stressed that yet, I'm gonna stress it now. This project is so anointed. I know I kind of texted you that, but it's so amazing to see that you guys have a dream and it's coming true before your very eyes. I mean, some people have, you know, dream projects that they don't ever do. Some, or at least not for a long time, and they have to do it down the line, not right away. You guys have the opportunity and the anointing to be able to do it right now and see it play out and see what's going to come from, you know, the movie. So it's amazing.
Well, it's
part of it.
burning, and yeah, I just appreciate the words, man.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
So
good.
So anyway, we do have a Q&A, fan Q&A coming up for Raphael right after this next question. So go ahead and drop them in the comments below. So would you like to share a little bit about your journey in the industry and possibly your testimony along with that?
Yeah. Well, I'll kind of mash these up together because they're both very extensive, long stories. Grew up in a home of artists. We're all believers. I knew at some point that I wanted to be an actor. From a very young age, I always loved telling stories and making people laugh and just being characters. And my mom heavily encouraged me to do theater when I was younger. And I would do little church shows, and that transition to actually getting paid money to go prance around on stage and do professional theater, which was amazing and a dream come true. But then I wanted to explore more of like the film world.
Oh, Raphael, you're frozen again.
1 Mississippi.
2 Mississippi. 3 Mississippi. 4 Mississippi. Time to call Raphael.
6 Mississippi.
Sorry, folks. Raphael will be back in a moment.
8 Mississippi. Okay, Mississippi.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
That never happened.
Good to have you back, man.
I don't know what you're talking about. I cut out. What do you mean?
Take two.
Right.
I don't know where I was at, but I was basically just saying that, like, yeah.
We basically talked about
theater. I was talking about theater.
Film.
Yep. I was just heavily involved in theater, and I started to fall in love with filmmaking myself. So I started making, you know, movies and short films. I would help out with college projects. So I kind of had a perspective of both acting and filmmaking, and I wanted to combine them and just do film acting at some point. And during that time, I was kind of struggling a lot, and this is around like middle school to high school. I was dealing a lot with anxiety and just depression, and I would have, you know, thoughts of overthinking, OCD, and just chronic guilt and shame. So I had all these issues that were plaguing me from a young age. Hopefully I plan to release like an actual testimony video, so it like merges into my film and acting career. But basically I had made a lot of really bad decisions just in high school. I just decided to just not really follow God. And then my senior year, I was cast in a series that would shoot, well, I should say it broadcasts to 11 different church campuses. It's a faith-based series. It's almost like a Saved by the Bell, kind of Good Luck Charlie, like Disney sitcom, but it's faith-based with godly morals. And so I played this like goofy Jim Carrey character. And in order to do that, I actually left high school and did online school. And And during that time, I actually encountered Jesus kind of for the first time. I had been a believer since I was 6 years old, but I really understood the Father's love at age 17. And he grabbed me and he nurtured me, and I fully understood what it meant to be walking in being surrendered to Holy Spirit and what Holy Spirit is doing in my life. And so that forever changed who I was, and I walked away from the things of the world, the things that were temporary, and really the things that were ultimately going to lead me to death. More of that later when I actually release a testimony video.
Teaser.
But yeah, going along the lines of being surrendered, I surrendered my career to God. I was like, God, wherever direction you're taking me in, it's your will, it's your way. I just so happened to stumble upon the Kendrick brothers casting call for LifeMark. And so I saw that it was just like a little self-tape submission site, so I could just submit myself and the casting director could choose to reject it or respond to me. So I sent in the worst self-tape I think I've ever sent anyone. And I was like, God, whatever happens, happens. It'd be a crime to not submit something for this because it's there and it's free. Well, actually, I don't think it was free. I think I had to pay a little fee, but that's beside the point. So I submitted a little self-tape, and I was just like, yeah, whatever happens, happens. In total, I had 4 auditions for the movie. 4 auditions in total, including 2 with Kirk Cameron and Alex and Stephen Kendrick. And it was down to the point where it was between me and 3 other people for the lead role of David in LifeMark. And I was at the place of like, God, I want this so bad. Like I was borderline white knuckling it, being like, I gotta have this. I'm not gonna let it go. But I knew that it was the thing that I wanted the most, that I had to lay down the most. And so I was like, God, I just, I fully surrender any desires, any deeds, any intentions that you do not want me to have. And whoever's supposed to have this role, you're going to make it happen. And this is something I wanted really bad. It wasn't just like, oh yeah, God, you can have it. I really don't want it. I was like, give it to me. And so laying that down, there was a lot of peace that came over me. I was like, whatever happens, happens. And then the Kendricks called me almost right away, and they told me to get on Zoom. So I hopped on Zoom, and they asked, basically, how would you feel having a minor role in the film? Like maybe you have a couple speaking lines, but you would not be playing the lead role of the movie. How do you feel about that? Excuse me. And I basically just said, without hesitation, absolutely. I was like, if I were just on set bringing you guys food during lunch and being the Uber Eats guy, that would have been more than worth it. And Alex goes, well, that's really great to hear, except that's actually not the case because you're going to be the lead role in the movie. And I was blown away. I started screaming, jumping on the bed. I was freaking out. And then Stephen Kendrick's like, yeah, we'll see you in Columbus, Georgia in 5 days. And that's exactly what happened. And yeah, it was life-changing. I met my now agent, Gene Wenger, who has got me all kinds of roles and has got me connected with people I could only dream to be connected to. And just a remarkable power hitter in the faith-based industry. And yeah, like I said, life hasn't been the same since. So that's a little bit about me in a nutshell. And there's a lot of like moving parts and stuff like that. And I'm sure there's some people that are scratching their heads about some stuff, but that is the teaser. So
I've always just been
the sneak peek
blown away by that story. Like whenever you told that story about the Kendricks and offering you the role of the pizza delivery guy, and then using that as like a test.
I would have done it, bro. I would have done it for sure.
Yeah, I believe it too. And it's, the thing about just surrendering yourself and praying and keeping that relationship with God is, when you aren't trying so hard to just rely on yourself to make something happen, to yourself to do good or benefit things, or benefit self. then when you completely surrender, that's when you're letting him have that control in your life, letting him
Right.
to use it,
Right.
to use
Yeah.
you for his
And
plan.
there were multiple times during then that I was like, God, I'm gonna completely let go, and I'm gonna actually not only am I gonna let go of the thing that I'm holding on to for safety and comfort, but I'm gonna put my foot over the ledge, and I'm gonna hope that you're gonna catch me. You know, like it's not even just letting go; it's really putting yourself out there in a vulnerable position to be like, God, if you catch me, you catch me. You know.
Yeah. And it's just, you know, like with that, I think, sometimes with our plans and with God's plans, sometimes they can be the same thing. But
Yep.
if you aren't surrendered and you're not letting him have that control in your life to be able to make it happen, then he can't work through you in that way. You have to be completely surrendered.
Yeah.
And
Good, bro.
Yeah, it's definitely something that I'd say Anti highlights too, and even more
Definitely.
in the future.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. I'm like so tempted to just like spoil it right now and be like, well, but yeah, because this happened.
Well, we'll get
It's
there
kind of the
eventually.
job, right?
Soon.
You're like,
Soon I'll
check
spoil
out
the whole
this
movie.
video that
Yeah,
spoils
we'll have you
like
back on another live
what
stream.
happens
after
next.
How about I start to spoil it and you guys just censor me when I get somewhere that's too far? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I'll just do
Exactly.
this.
Yeah, we'll just censor it with an Against the Tide video.
Yeah. In fact, my favorite part was when and
You start freestyling, you're like, and then, yep, and, you know. Yeah. Have you ever had a dream that
you
could? Yeah.
Oh, we got some Viners. We have some Vine fanatics up in here.
Oh, gee.
See, this is why we're able to make YouTuber videos.
I was like, I know it's in there somewhere.
We have a fellow Viner with us.
Yes. I've seen them all.
It was part of the resume.
Yes. I've been to the Vine clubs. I've been to the VIP Vine clubs. I've been to all of them.
Oh, boy.
All right, the time
Ta-da!
has come for the fan Q&A with Raphael. Go ahead and start commenting your questions, and I believe we've already got some. Let me go back.
Yeah, we've got some. Let's do it.
Make sure you start out your first sentence with questions so that we're able to see them. Okay, we got one right here. From Sarah Voth, question for Raphael. What are the main differences between theater and live stage acting versus film? How do you adjust for either one?
Yeah, that's such a good question. And that's actually something that I was like struggling with as I was preparing my audition for the Kendrick Brothers, because I grew up in just being a theater kid. I mean, I loved doing all kinds of things and stuff like that, but I was pursuing theater to perfect that kind of area in my life so I could be a film actor. And I encourage everyone who wants to be a film actor, start with stage performances. Do what Lexi is doing, do acting classes, do improv classes. I did tons of those growing up, and they are so beneficial, not even if you want to be an actor, but they're good just for, you know, public speaking and just regular human to human interaction. But the big difference between stage acting and film acting is subtlety. So the thing that I was struggling with the most is that I had taken so many good resources and applied them into my acting, and those resources were be big and broad. So when you're on stage, you want to make sure that the person in the back row can see the facial expressions and the body language that you're displaying and know what you're trying to convey. It's the complete opposite with film. So with film, you have to have everything right here. Everything's in the face, everything's small and subtle. Because if like Colby were to be like, Raphael, your dog got hit by a car, and I'm like, what? That's horrible. You're not going to be as convinced that I'm actually being genuine. Instead, it would be all up here. I'd be like looking around, maybe just kind of thinking to myself, maybe I'd gulp or something. So
in other words, Oh, I was just gonna say. So, in other words, when you're being Rapture Dude, you're stage acting.
Yes. When you're Rapture Dude, it's a fine mix of both. That's
Yeah.
actually such a good point. That's so good. But yeah, really, the difference between that is just having subtlety, because the camera is going to be right up here, and the big, broad motions. As you know, as mean as it sounds, it's not going to cut it. It's not going to look real. And that's kind of what happened with my LifeMark audition, is that I was using big, broad motions instead of keeping it subtle. Really good question, though.
Yeah, and it's like, it's funny because Suzanne and Logan are other cast members in the film.
Yeah.
They actually have done a mixture of that stage acting and theater acting. I think Logan actually got his start in theater.
Yep.
Right.
But yeah, they are really able to find that balance. They are just super talented. We had them on live stream a couple nights ago.
Sure.
2 nights
So
ago.
it was
Wonderful
Suzanne
people.
and Logan?
Oh, Suzanne plays Suzanne.
Okay. Yeah.
And Logan plays Agent Number 1.
Is that the one that comes in at first in the church?
Yes.
He is wicked
Yes.
talented.
Yeah.
My jaw dropped.
terrifying.
I was like, holy Hannah. And I was watching it with my roommate, and we were both just like, holy Hannah, this is ridiculous. Like, he's so talented. Yeah.
Absolutely. Logan, he was also a very much last minute cast. And he was a local too.
Oh, wow. Convenient. It's almost like God was orchestrating it.
Almost. You make you think. Yeah. But yeah, it's Logan's performance.
Yeah.
You were
Yeah.
all of you are waiting for something.
Oh,
Yeah.
you'll see.
It's amazing.
We'll get there
So,
eventually.
oh, we have a question from Roper Kirby. He says, "What is your favorite part about playing that type of character?"
That is a wonderful question. I love to be kind of. I think one of my favorite parts was ad-libbing in between the serious lines, and me when I was giving the facts and I was talking about the current situations. I loved throwing in little ad-libs and just wondering, are they going to keep this in or not? Because I didn't know. I wasn't sure like what you guys were wondering. Obviously, he's supposed to be more of like a spontaneous, and he's supposed to be very enthusiastic about like what he's preaching on. But I wasn't sure to what extent you guys were going to allow me to go to. And I remember getting a message from, I think it was from you, Noah, saying like, honestly, we just want to see what you got. And I was like, okay, sure. And I just love that you kept in so many of them. It was so funny. So I would definitely say just having fun, being loose, and playing around with those improvisational moments.
Yeah, it's really it just turned out so amazing, and I can't wait for everyone to see the full video.
It'll be good.
FYI, the full YouTuber video will probably be released before the actual film.
Legit.
Yeah.
So
very much.
Yeah, it
Cool.
should be about like a 10-minute video, maybe less than that. But
Wow. Cool.
Yeah, it got some great material there, and
so good.
love what you gave us, Raphael.
Oh man, it's just a sample.
All right, so I'm not seeing any more fan questions, but we have one more question for you before we hop off. And I believe this is your question, Colby.
Yes. So before we wrap this, what is one thing that you would like to say to the supporters of Anti, fans, people that are giving to the show, and also what they can expect from this show when they see this pilot and this episode and what's coming forward?
Yeah. I think I would start by just saying, put your seatbelts on because it's going to be a wild ride. It
Like
is
and subscribe
so.
for more.
It is so methodical in how everything is laid out. It's suspenseful. It keeps you on the edge of your seat. It's insightful. And the last thing I would say about it is really it's very convicting. Because if, this thing that I keep seeing is just like everyone is talking about end times and rapture. I keep seeing this pop up on social media and YouTube and all that stuff. And it really gets you thinking about like, this isn't a time to be condemned, to be like, oh, God's going to come and send us to hell. But it's like, hey, let's be excited and know that like the king is coming back. And, we want to be ready for him. We want to be the bride that's ready for when for when God comes to take us to that amazing wedding feast. And so it's like, God, help us to be ready. And this show is part of that. This show is part of reminding us like, dude, we don't have all the time in the world, or at least we don't know if we do, and it's so good to be alert, be ready, because he could come tomorrow. And it's so important to be ready for whenever it is that he's coming. So really props to you guys, both of you, for getting this message out there and for wanting it to not just be like a sci-fi, like deep story, but you're wanting to convict, compel, and to love on people and to show them that there is hope.
Well, that's what Jenna and I think everyone on this team, I can speak for everyone, like who has this passion, like that's what they want to get out of it, to show that love, and for it to be kind of like it's not the love which I don't consider to be real love, to where it's just like, oh, you're fine, like
yeah,
fine with what you're doing, but it's like, hey, we want to show you something, like we want you to be our family. We want you to have that, to know how special that relationship with God is.
Good.
And I'd say it really brings to life the verse about the shepherd leaves the 99 to find the one sheep that's lost. And in this story, Gaudin, of all people, is one of those lost sheep who's trying to be reached.
Right.
And it's it's a very human kind of story, and it's just trying to be real to the real world. And
wow, that's
under
so
these
good.
circumstances.
Amazing. So good.
Well, anyway,
great having you with us.
Beautiful testimony, Raphael. Really appreciate those words about Anti. So thankful to have you as part of our team, cast member, and feel like Rapture Dude is going to really go places.
Yeah, that'd be cool
in the series. One last question.
Yeah.
Do you think that Rapture Dude will ever make an appearance in the series that is outside of just being on a YouTube video?
Oh boy. I think that is up for interpretation, and we'll see.
Let us know in the comments below.
Let us know in the comments below. He may not, but he may.
Hit the bell icon.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, Raphael.
Thank you, guys.
With you soon.
Bless you guys. Thank you so much.
Get you back on here sometime.
Yeah, actually, this is kind of abrupt. Do you guys have to end right now?
What was that?
This is kind of abrupt, but do you have to end right now?
Colby and I will be staying for we may go ahead and go, because I don't think anybody has any additional questions for us. But let us know in the comments. Do you want us to play the teaser for the Rapture Dude video as the outro for this?
Ooh, that's good. I'll raise my hand. There's
let us know down below.
One yes right here. One yes right here. Anybody else? Anybody else?
Oh, good.
No,
Raphael.
I'll do two hands. So
right.
there's two yeses.
All right,
we're teaser from Megan, that's 3. Yes from Tara, that's 4. Yes from Vicky, that's 5.
Go.
Okay, that's majority vote. Let's go. Whoop whoop.
Channel, it's Rapture Dude once again. Thank you so much for joining me on another episode. So today I'm going to be breaking down the latest theory on everyone's mind. and laying out for you 6 reasons why I believe Emmanuel Gaudin, the beloved leader that got us through Rapture Geddon, is the Antichrist. Alright, so this video is sponsored by ChipFit. You want a wearable that's totally invisible? Like inside you, you're kind of invisible? ChipFit is an implantable fitness device that tracks metabolism by taking measurements in the bloodstream. Just make sure you put ChipFit in your left hand because it's not the MOB if it's in the left hand, right? More on ChipFit later. So, you guys know, I've been covering the Rapture before the Rapture was cool. Hello? Anybody remember this? You can't cover the Rapture without speculating about the next big bad event. Naturally, there's gonna be a few that we get wrong. So, let's check this out. Oh, I miss Damien era. But after the mandate for Project Volition, I'm feeling pretty confident that Manny's our man. Let's dive right into why I'm really sure about it this time. Alright, number 1. Emmanuel Gaudin, born June 6, 2006. Not that that fact has any significance whatsoever. Moving on to number 2. You guys know that I go absolutely crazy with name meanings, but this, I mean, yeah, we're gonna have to do some research with this one. Did you hear that? Could be. The Book of Isaiah, which can be found in both the Christian Bible and the Jewish Tanakh. Tanakh. It prophesies that a virgin shall conceive and give birth to a son that will be called Emmanuel, meaning God with us. Now, Christians believe this prophecy was fulfilled through a man named Jesus, who became the religious figurehead of their own spin-off religion. And go with me here. Hang tight. Looking at the facts that I found about Emmanuel Gaudin, I believe the Antichrist's life directly mimics Jesus Christ. Who's gonna argue with me? So this one's pretty easy. I remember, I looked it up. Basically it just means like strong-willed warrior or protector or something like that, so not too shabby. This one, on the other hand, yeah, I had to Google it because I have no idea what that could possibly mean. Turns out, it is a French surname, which checks out because Gaudin's mom was, say it with me kids, French, good job. Okay, let's see here. Good protector, one of power, God, deity, divine being, son of God. Huh. Most of the time, we don't have access to the details of someone's conception because, hello, that would just be awkward. But Gaudin is the exception. Alright. Number 3, y'all, I want you to check this out. We have details both from Gaudin's mom's archive and from his book Saving Nations to tell us all about it. Okay? It is actually very, very scientific. No, I am not done with 3 yet. So before her disappearance, Gaudin's mother identified as asexual, and she conceived him via in vitro fertilization and the use of donated sperm, aka he was born of a virgin. Now this can be interpreted as a clue that Gaudin's life is supposed to mimic the Christ figure of Christianity, who was also supposedly born of a virgin. So what does that tell you?